What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. So last Sunday, there wasn't any superhero time, so we didn't have any Kamen Rider Gav or Boonboomger. But speaking of which, let's talk about Boonboomger and how Bundorio Bunderas, aka BunBun, is actually the most interesting character of the show. Now, to be fair, so to those who haven't seen the latest episodes just yet, I highly recommend that you do catch up on the latest Boonboomger episodes because there are going to be some spoilers in this video, especially when it comes to Bundorio himself. Now, to there is already already been like a couple weeks since the actual reveal about the Bundorio came out, so I am recording this video in hopes that more people have already gotten the chance to see, the latest Boonboomger episodes. But again, just in case you haven't seen them yet, go catch up and come back to this video when you're ready, because again, there will be some plot-heavy spoilers. So, with that said, let's begin. Now, going back to around like episode 34, I believe. So, we already are introduced the to I guess probably the final boss of the Boonboomger, or of the Boonboomger show, and he's also apparently the leader of the Hashirian. So we are introduced to Wild Spin. So Wild Spin's name is actually based off Wild Speed, which is the Japanese title for the Fast and the Furious series. Now, let's talk about Bundorio and how Wild Spin comes into play just a bit later. So, we do know from past episodes that Bundorio has participated in this space race called the Big Bang Grand Prix. And of course, his partner was Bune Diesel. But some things have happened, and Bundorio decides to quit the BBG. He runs away from the Hashirian and, ends up being on Earth. He ends up being chased by the Hashirian anyway, so, he decides to fight them off with the help of Taya and the rest of the Boonboomgers, and the rest is history. So now we go back to Boondorio's past and talk about what actually led to those events, and where we are right now within the series. So again, this is interesting to talk about because now we get basically the full backstory behind Bundorio. So first, again, this is going to be the spoilery part, so I have to say at least one more time. So go ahead, catch up on the latest episodes, then watch this video when you're ready or when you're done catching up. So a few episodes prior, we already know, or we learned, that Bundorio was actually a Hashirian. So why or how exactly Bundorio joined the Hashirian is actually explained in the episode at least 2 Sundays ago. So Bundorio reveals that while he was racing in the Big Bang Grand Prix, so a fan had sent him some performance enhancing parts that turned out to be defective. So it cost him the race. There was some sort of accident. Like, we don't really see what exactly happened. We don't really see that exact race. But what we do see later is that Bundorio stands on trial for, again, like illegal use of performance enhancing parts. So he decides to quit the BBG, leave his partner without saying a word. But what Bundorio actually explains is that, like, he doesn't want Byundi to be involved. Like, he does admit that this is all on himself. So, in order to protect his friend's career, so Bundorio just decides to quit, and he no longer runs in the BBG. So a distraught Bundorio eventually meets up with Wild Spindle. And this is where Spindle reveals that he was actually the guy who sent those parts. But Bundorio at that time feeling, he was basically out of his mind and he's got nowhere to go. So, he decides to join Spindle anyways. And this is how Bundorio became part of the Hashirian. So, things that Bundorio had developed, apparently, so he was the one who basically invented those ignition keys that Itasha inserts into random objects and turn them into the Kurumaju. So yeah, it's all his creation. But this is where I guess like the Kamen Rider ish aspect of Boonboomger comes in. So Bundorio, realizing the wrong that he has done, so he decides to run away from the Hashirian and journey through space. So this desertion had led Wild Spindo to actually put a bounty on Bundorio's head, and it turns out like someone had declared that they were able to unalive Bundorio, but of course that's not the case because we see him alive and kicking right now. So, it led to Wild Spindo actually coming to Earth in order to hunt down the traitor and settle things once and for all. So that's what happened with Bundorio. Now, again, this is where the Kamen Rider-ish aspect of Boonboomger comes into play because the Boonboomgers, like Taya and the rest of the Boonboomgers, I guess with the exception of Boom Violet, so, you know, they all receive their powers from supposedly a member of the enemy faction, or at least, Bundorio had already defected from the Ashirian at this point, and using their powers to fight against that said, enemy group. So again, it's that kind of parallel to Kamen Rider, which I think was quite interesting in my opinion. Just to note, nothing important in regards to plot or anything of Kamen Rider. Again, maybe it's an homage, maybe it's a coincidental parallel. We don't know, but again, it's a really interesting plot. But yeah, so this is where the final arc or the final lap of Boonboomger is focused. So apparently, it's going to be much of a Bundorio focused arc. I think so because again, we already have basically the final boss introduced, and a recent poster released by the Boonboomger official X account. So they apparently released another one. So they released a second poster for the final lap of the Boonboomger. So showing a much darker scenario apparently. So if you look at the poster, and I will show it you through the thumbnail if you look closely. So everything is in ruins. Earth is I don't know, well, basically near destroyed, or at least the city is. Um, so we see Taya in his untransformed state, battered, and like on the forefront of the poster is a broken, um, you know, uh, I forgot the name of the engine device already. But yeah, we see that in the forefront. So, uh, yeah. So I'm sorry, it's been a long time, so I forget stuff. But yeah, we see that in the forefront of, you know, the poster. So it's also like quite rainy, so there's apparently going to be some rain in the final battle. So Taya tries to stand up. Like, again, we see him battered, untransformed. Apparently, this is, the point where the Rangers lose their powers and they're in a desperate situation. Although, again, it's only Taya in the poster, though. And we see Wild Spin on the left side, like nearly half his face. So, of course, Wild Spin is going to be involved. And if you look closely on the top of the poster, there is a pink pendant, which could be the key to everything. Hopefully, it's a key to defeating Wild Spindle and, and the conflict once and for all. So, who knows what can happen, but this final lap second poster is giving us hints as to what could happen in the actual final arc of the show. And believe it or not, it's been, more than half a year since Boonboomger came out. We're already in the 30s, so we're past the midpoint, and now that the final lap poster is out, and apparently now we are in the final stages of the show. It's just gonna be like like a couple months and at least 3 months before the show is finally over. And I am really excited to see what could still potentially happen in the remaining episodes of the show. Like apparently, the Boom Boom Killer Robo is it exists because of Bundorio, and why exactly why this robo looks exactly like Bundorio. Of course, like in a different color. It's a more sinister looking version, but nonetheless, again, all these revelations, all these twists, and all of the stuff that I've mentioned so far, like these are things that I'm really looking forward to, at the end of the show. Because while Boonboomger, I have to be honest, the second lap quite wasn't like, you know, I would say like it's the least interesting part in my opinion. Um, the third lap though, this thing with Gemba, this race, the return of Mad Rex, so like things picked up speed again, and they got more interesting. And now we have, I think, like a very exciting final lap. Like, who knows what could happen? Like, I could already envision, like, after, you know, like, Wild Spindle is defeated, so everything is back to normal. Like, uh, I can't wait to see Bundorio enter the BBG again. Maybe this time Taya's coming along for the ride, and maybe Sakito is going back to space with Bindi, so maybe the four of them would, they would go into space and join the BBG. Or who knows, like the entire Boonboomger team will leave Earth, go to space, and they would form like one big pit crew for the BBG. And I think that's actually the best ending that you could ask for. It in a way kind of reminds me of like Go Onger. So, like in the end, the engines came back, and they invited their partner rangers to join them again in adventures across different dimensions. Like it's the best possible scenario that I could imagine for the ending, and hopefully that's the thing that they would go for. But nonetheless, yeah, I think the ending might involve something, with the BBG, and who knows, maybe next time we actually see what, maybe in the team up with the next Sentai team, we could actually see what the BBG is, or maybe in a V cinema, we could see a little more focus on the BBG and what it actually is and what the winners could possibly get. So yeah, those are things that I'm looking forward to with Boonboomger. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you next time. Bye!